welcome to my life. We're on a trip to North Florida. In all transparency, we were just talking to ourselves for like 20 minutes about these subjects. And then my phone decided that it just didn't want to cooperate. So, we have something to say. I have something to get off my chest. I don't know if he has something to get off his chest.
I'm sort of just like stunned by when I just seen a sign. I'm bald and I'm 40 and almost bald. So she loves.
I love his bald head. He's got these little fuzzies on top of his head, and I can rub them and scratch them, and they feel so like they feel like the little scrubber that you scrub pots and pans with.
Yeah, I just seen this big sign that said Adult Center. I don't know what, I don't think we should be getting off that exit.
No. But I do think you should find me an exit soon to eat.
What's that Adult Center? What they're doing there?
Grace, grace, what? God's grace. So, we were having tons of discussions about live PD and Christianity and all sorts of things and all the things that make up Tom and Jerry's.
Yeah, there's all kinds of, it's just all distracting.
All these signs, they make you want to get off the exit. It's actually cold in Florida today. We were talking about repossessing hair extensions. Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue. I love Sonny's. If you don't know that, mixing the sweet barbecue sauce with the hot sweet barbecue sauce is the jam. Like, it is the bomb.com. So we were talking about live PD. So how it went kind of down south when they took Pasco County out of live PD. We live in Pasco County, and they took Pasco County off live PD, and then we were having this discussion about how come they can say, they pull you over and then they say, oh, your tail light's out. Excuse me, ma'am, do you have anything illegal in your car? I need to search it. Now, prefaced that by saying we appreciate all of the police officers out there who keep us safe. We totally support police officers. My uncle's a police officer, so if you watch this, uncle, I love you, I support you, and please be safe out there. But how come on live PD they want to search your car?
They search everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's people that go, so they probably put the people one that they search, because I've been pulled over a lot and I've never been searched.
You've been pulled over a lot?
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't been pulled over for a long time. I'm not even going to say I'm on a trip, for speeding, but I've never been, searched, and it's like everybody's getting searched, so either A, there's a whole much more people doing illegal stuff than there was since the last time I got pulled over 3 years ago, or we have a huge violation of the Fourth Amendment. I think it's the Fourth Amendment, which is your right against the fifth is the right to remain silent. The fourth is the right against illegal search and seizure. So I don't know. I just don't like it that they're literally seems like they're searching everybody. And I'm a big constitutionalist and not anti law enforcement in any degree. I'm pro law enforcement, but I am pro rights and knowing your rights.
We're big advocates.
And a lot of people don't know their rights, and so
you need to know the Constitution.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say, God forbid, one of your kids, older kids, maybe you're 15, you got a 20-year-old kid, and they did something. Police show up at the door, that loud knock, and they demand to know all this stuff. Now, what do?
Shut up.
Well, most people feel compelled if the police is at my house, I've got to talk. But we have a lawyer friend that has philosophies on speaking to police. And the philosophy...
I'm going to say it the nice way.
Okay, go ahead, and I'm going to say it the nasty way.
All right. I'm in law school. I cannot give you legal advice. I have to give you that preface. But if the police are at your door and they are looking for information, it means they already have an idea in their minds about you. And you need to shut up now, and really shut up now. Do not talk to them. Go get a lawyer, because it's not going to do you any good.
Stop. But how the friend really said it is, you need to shut up, shut the hell up, and shut the hell up right now. Put your rights. It's funny because in all these shows, by the way, we'll deal with the hell part. Oh my God, he said hell. Okay, Lord, I'm sorry. That's what he said. That's how he said it. I'm just giving it the pure, because it's more potent that way.
Which, by the way, in the legal realm, that's how they talk.
Yeah. Oh my God. We've dealt with lawyers a lot about multiple things here in the
You're
last
about to
couple
be
of years.
living with one.
And well, you won't talk like that.
No, I won't.
We were the good ones, but lawyers got potty mouths. We learned that in a lot of depositions and stuff. But anyway, they say they have this thing. Let me see if I can get it right. Once again, pro cops, but pro rights. And God forbid, any one of us can be falsely accused in a situation when we're innocent, but they say this to you. It's called Mirandizing. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, now listen to what they're saying to you, can and will be used against you in a court of law. You got the right to a counsel, a lawyer, and if you cannot afford one will be appointed for you. Then I think they say you can exercise these rights at any time. And without fail, they read them. It's constitutionally in there. I think it was one of the chief justices like 10 years ago. I forget what his name was of the Rehnquist. I don't know. One of the Justice Supreme Court said any probative suspect, meaning somebody that the law enforcement is probing into, any probative suspect, that meaning you're a suspect in a crime. This Supreme Court said in a ruling, any person that is a suspect in a crime that willingly talks to the cops should never talk to the cops. If you're a suspect in anything, I hope you're not, but anytime you can be, if you're a suspect in anything, you should not talk to the cops, because they told you what would happen. But here's the funny thing. It's called your constitutional legal rights. And every time, whether it's on Live PD, what other show do I love to watch all the time?
Dateline.
And on Dateline, every time, without fail.
They just talk to the cops.
No. They do. A lot of people do. But then the cops, when they don't talk to the cops will go and say, well, they'll say to themselves right on these shows, even the Live PD, or, man, making yourself look guilty by not talking. No, I'm not making myself look guilty. I'm exercising a constitutional right. And so remember, law enforcement officers are sworn to the Constitution. So I'm all pro law enforcement. We need to arrest every drug dealer, every bad person, every murderer, every predator,
every guilty person,
every person that is guilty of a crime. Although some of the stuff in the laws. But listen, we shouldn't incarcerate people for low-level offenses. We're too incarcerated, but that's a whole nother issue. But you exercise your constitutional rights, and then immediately these great law enforcement officers, see, I was nice, because they're going to think we're anarchists, but these great law enforcement officers who have been sworn to the Constitution believes that a person is now automatically guilty because they chose to exercise a right in that same Constitution. And so you tell me what's wrong with that.
And let me tell you this.
I just say that pretty good.
Let me tell you this.
Is that good, Brandy?
Absolutely. Let me tell you this. The Constitution is the absolute law of the land. When you're dealing with litigation, when you're dealing with legislation, the Constitution rules every single piece of litigation that there is. So every piece of governmental anything has to be bound to the Constitution. Every amendment that is made has to conform to the Constitution. So, when someone decides that they are going to exercise a constitutional right, it is not anyone's right to stop them from doing that. Now, I just want to say this. He said, hell.
Why don't we do this? So I got 3 big subjects I want to talk about. Why don't we break these videos up? And that's what I was trying to tell you. But I was telling to them instead of whispering.
Yeah.
Because people don't have the short. Why don't we talk about this probative law enforcement? Let's get the religious stuff. And then I want to tackle opiates.
Okay.
So why don't we break them up in 3 videos? That way they can be more shareable for a particular subject.
All right. So we're going to wrap this one up. This is just our opinion on this.
So this one is, we'll title it, all of it is traveling constitutional authority and rights. So knowing your Constitution, knowing what the law says, and exercising it, and don't be intimidated. Don't intimidate law enforcement, but don't be intimidated by them. If they show up to your house, remember this. You pay their salary.
But I do want to say this.
We're thankful.
Always respect them.
Yeah. And be respectful. Don't cuss. Because a lot of
Don't
people
cuss them
lie
out.
PD out. Don't lie PD cussing out. No. Be respectful.
And follow the laws of the land. If you want to own a firearm, if you want to own... If you want to own, do that the right way. Go get your permits. Go get... You know, when a police officer shows up at your window and you have a firearm, tell them, do it the right way. But know the Constitution.
We're not anti-cops. We love cops. But I watch enough of these shows, and there's guilty people. For instance, there could be a murder, and my car could be turning left, and they can think, my God, but I'm the last car seen turning that scene. Well, I didn't murder nobody, and now I'm the suspect of what do I do? I'm just going to talk to them. We've watched people get in interviews, and I think some of this has changed for 10 hours and confess to something that they legally proved they didn't do because they found the person because they got drilled for 10. If you get drilled by anybody for 10 hours... You're exhausted. And if you're thinking, man, I'm just going to do the right thing. I'm going to go talk to these cops. Now, I'm not talking about if you're a witness to help. Like, if you know who killed somebody... You tell them. You're a witness. I'm talking about if you're a suspect in something and they tell you, hey, especially if you're Mirandized, just don't talk. Yeah. Because they can trap you up. They'll trap you up. Get a lawyer. You don't need that. And there's innocent people in jail, and that doesn't make you bad. It makes you knowing your rights and makes you constitutionally appropriate. Come talk to me in about 3 years. Yeah. All right. See you in our next episode.